like my mom.
Yeah, right. Damn it. Damn it to hell.
There was some hot sauce called.
I was going to ask you real quick here, Jamie.
He's gonna
Jamie.
cue us, yeah.
Jamie, where did you want Argo?
You know, I thought I did.
Okay, all right.
Dan, over
I just
here.
thought I would ask again. I tried to fit it in one of the tunes. But,
You know,
okay.
I'll do the.
No
I'll
problem.
introduce
Yeah,
you.
not a problem.
Facing you, but obviously when
I'm just happy to have the tools there when you ask for it. Better to have it and don't need it. Better to have it, don't need it, than to need it and don't have it.
Here we go.
I'll give you guys 2 bars for the start of this, okay? Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Aaron Lington. I'm the Artistic Director of Music InPlace. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. We're coming to you live from the Piedmont Piano Building in downtown Oakland, California. And we have a really wonderful group for you this evening. A number of years ago, in California, I was playing a jam session in downtown San Jose that was hosted by San Jose Jazz, and this wonderful singer showed up to sit in on the session. That singer was Jamie Davis, and I was blown away by his musicianship, his style. He swings harder than pretty much anyone I've ever met or played with before, and he just has an absolutely stunning voice. And we are very proud to bring you this afternoon Jamie Davis with his quartet accompanying him. And we're going to have on the drums Dave Rokeach, on the bass is Jeff Chambers, on the piano is Glen Pearson, coming in from Las Vegas today, a former resident of Emeryville, California, Charles McNeal on the saxophone, and Jamie Davis on the vocals. So please welcome Jamie Davis and quartet, and take it away, gentlemen.
Through the trees comes autumn and her serenade. Melodies, the sweetest music ever played. Autumn kisses we knew are all beautiful sylvanese. As I pause to recall, the leaves seems to fall like tears. Silver stars were clinging to an autumn sky. Love was ours until October wandered by. Let the years come and go, I still feel the glow. That time cannot fade when I hear that lovely autumn serenade. Through the trees comes autumn and her serenade. Melodies, the the sweetest music ever played. Autumn kisses we knew are all beautiful souvenirs. As I pause to recall, the leaves seem to fall like tears. Silver stars were clinging to an autumn sky. Love was ours until October wandered by. Let the years come and go, I'll still feel the glow that time cannot fade. When I hear that lovely autumn serenade. Serenade, 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 serenade.
So good. So a lot of the stuff that you chose for the concert today is from a pretty famous album, I think, done by Johnny Hartman and John Coltrane. It was on the InPlace label. It was recorded in 1963. And I'm kind of curious, like, what is it about Johnny Hartman's voice that you really like?
Well, I think John Coltrane determined what it was about his voice. In my research, he said he heard his voice and he just had to do something with him because he felt that his tonality and Mr. Hartman's tonality was a perfect match. Mm-hmm. That's my belief.
Right. Well, do you think the songs that you chose for the album were random a little bit, or do you think there was like a theme to them at all? What do you think about this?
Johnny Hartman was known as a balladeer, and so I think he chose what he thought would fit his range, because, of course, Train could play anything. And that's how I think those songs were chosen, you know. And obviously he did well.
Oh, yeah. You know, I mean, I think for me, like, you know, guys with a voice like Johnny Hartman, Nat King Cole also had a really rich voice. He tended to choose slightly different kinds of compositions, I think, than Hartman did. I think Hartman would choose tunes that were a little deeper, something deeper to them, I think.
I speak from my experience on this because baritones, we have to articulate slower, and so we can't do all of this, at least a lot of the stuff that other guys, ranges do. So our material is chosen based upon that. However, we can make it as fluid as we can, you know.
It's amazing stuff. What's the next tune you guys are going to play?
The showstopper, Lush Life, Billy Strayhorn.
I used to visit all those very gay places, those come with May places, where one relaxes on the axis of the wheel of life, just to get the feel of life, from jazz and cocktails. The girls I knew had sad and sullen gray faces with distant pay traces that used to be where you could see where they've been washed away by too many through the day. 12 o'clock tears. Then you came along with your siren song to tune me to madness. I thought for a while that your pointed smile was tinged with the sadness of a great love for me. again. I was wrong. Life is lonely again and only. Last year everything seemed so sure. Now life is awful again. A trough full of hearts could only be a bore. A week in Paris would ease the bite of it. All I care is to smile in spite of it. I'll forget you, I will, I must. You are still burning inside my brain. Romance is much, stifling those who has tried. But I'll live a lush life in some small dive, and there I'll be while I rot with the rest of those whose lives are lonely. I'll forget you, I will, I must. You are still burning inside my brain. Romance is much, stifling those who strive. But I'll live a lush life in some small dive, and there I'll be while I rot with the rest of those whose lives are lonely too.
Wow.
Bravo, brother.
That was unbelievable. You know, correct me if I'm wrong. I think I read somewhere that Billy Strayhorn wrote that when he was like 17 or 18 years old or something
Exactly
like that, right?
correct.
16? Man, what kind of life are you leading where at 16 you can write lyrics like that? You know what I mean? Yeah, that's really something else, man. Unbelievable.
Let's talk about the song a little bit, though. This is
please.
the song that is a giant killer in sessions and stuff like that. Somebody calls that, and a lot of people say, "Excuse me."
Yeah. Yeah. Excuse me, I need to go feed the meter.
So unfortunately, the rhythm section can't do that.
Not for the faint of heart.
Well, sorry, Glenn, go ahead. Sorry. I did-
No, so there's allegedly a recording of Frank Sinatra attempting to record it, and it was some intervals in there that were like, basically kicking his, what, and he kept stopping during the session. He started, and he,
Well,
again. And I think and from what I understand, he finally reached out to Strayhorn to coach him on singing it
yeah.
before he actually went back.
It's not a very diatonic melody.
No.
It's very chromatic, very, very challenging.
Phrasing is something to be dealt with
Yeah.
for fluidity, because if it's not fluid, in my opinion, it doesn't work.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Charles, I was totally blown away by your sax solo, man.
Charles McNeal.
Charles McNeal, man. I obviously the other, huge personality on the album, Johnny Hartman and then John Coltrane. Obviously, Charles, you're playing, you play like you. I've known you're playing for a long time. But I'm kind of curious, like, doing a sort of, I guess you could call this a tribute concert in a way. Yeah. Doing a tribute concert like this, are you trying to, like, man, let me see if I can get a little more Train in there, or are you just kind of have it in the back of your head, or like, what are your thoughts on that?
It's more so, hopefully I'm coming through loud enough, but it's more so for me, just because I'm not the trained clone as other great saxophonists are. Not to take anything away from that. So I'm trying to, for this, especially for this, and on that last tune, the spirit of Train.
Yeah.
Try to cop that. Not,
Yeah.
I would do a very poor job of trying to sound like.
Well said, brother.
Yeah.
So it's just taking the spirit of Train.
Yeah.
And hopefully, that, and his energy.
Yeah.
Hopefully that comes across. So that's what I bring to the table. Even on this concert, there will be some alto solos.
Yeah. No, that's cool.
And Train played alto.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah.
But yeah, that's the way I approach it.
Yeah, for me, every time I listen to John Coltrane, it's a very pure approach, I think, to music, in that it's like, to me, he's just channeling the source, and it's just coming right out.
Yeah.
And there's nothing pretentious about it. There's nothing like, like pre-planned so much. It's just always felt very pure to me. Yeah. And I can hear that in your solo, Charles. I think it's really great.
As a musician, these are classic songs. These are, people fall down and worship to these kind of music. But you got to be yourself.
Yeah,
who are you?
That's right.
Within the idiom.
Sure.
What I mean? Just because I got a deep voice like Johnny Hartman, I can't channel him. He couldn't channel me. And
Right.
I don't think he would want to. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's how I feel about it.
Well,
It is what it is.
it's a great rendition of Lush Life, guys. So what's the next tune?
You are too beautiful. One of my favorite songs.
You guys ready? One bar. 1, 2, 3, 4.
You are too beautiful, my dear, to be true. And I am a fool for beauty, fooled by a feeling that because I have found you, I could have bound you to. You are too beautiful for man alone for one lucky fool to be with when there are other men with eyes of their own to see. Sharing, not if one really cares. Have you been comparing my every kiss with theirs? If on the other hand I'm faithful to you, don't you know it's not through a sense of duty? You are too beautiful, and I am a fool for beauty. Glen Pearson. Love does not stand sharing, not if one really cares. Have you been comparing my every kiss with theirs? If on the other hand I'm faithful to you, don't you know it's not through a sense of duty? You are too beautiful, and I am a fool for you.
tune, if you wouldn't mind, I'd like to take just a second and let everybody watching know a little bit about Music in Place and what our organization is. Perhaps some of you are joining us again, from a repeated viewing from our live stream concert series. This is our 5th of 8 concerts. We have another group coming up next week as a local rock group called Raise the Maze. And then we are going to have Adam Thies and the Jazz Mafia after that. And then the last concert that we're going to have actually is going to be what we're calling the Socially Distanced Orchestra. It's an 18-piece string orchestra playing Tchaikovsky's Serenade for Strings, conducted by Barnaby Palmer. And if you would like to donate a little bit of money to help out these artists here and to help support the concert that we're doing tonight and the concerts coming up in the future, as well as our numerous video projects that we have been producing since mid-March, please visit musicinplace.org/support. We are a 501c3 registered nonprofit, and 100% of your donations are tax deductible. And they go toward helping produce concerts like this one that you're watching tonight. And if you're familiar with our videos, they go towards helping produce the videos that we've been doing since mid-March. What we're trying to do at Music in Place, obviously since the pandemic has really kind of decimated the live music industry, because you're not allowed, there's no bars, restaurants, clubs, touring, anything like that. We at Music in Place have just been trying to give some musicians get them some work working from home and producing high quality videos that we are professionally audio mixing and mastering and professionally video editing. So we're helping provide, primarily focusing with Bay Area musicians, helping provide these musicians with some training to enter the digital music world as opposed to simply just the analog music world, because that's what we have available to us right now. And we have been able to support, since mid-March, nearly 150 Bay Area musicians just on our video projects alone. And then we have the live stream concerts as well. Plus, we are also putting to work audio-video crew who also are out of work because there's no concerts to work for. So we've been helping provide some work for those individuals here in the Bay Area as well. So please consider donating to what I consider a very worthwhile cause, musicinplace.org/support. Again, it's a 100% tax-deductible donation, and I know that we will all appreciate it, and the musicians here in the Bay Area will certainly appreciate it as well. So, back to you guys here with the music.
May I say something? I
please.
would like to salute Music in Place, because without them, we would not be here today. And we are the working musicians in the Bay Area, and we are absolutely delighted to be a part of this program and actually to bring some live music and to be together and play.
Yeah.
I salute you. Thank you so much for this privilege.
You're very welcome. Miss it, man, is the live music,
Absolutely.
Glenn, I wanted to ask you a question, actually, real quick. Another major figure on the album is the pianist McCoy Tyner, who was a really, when I think of jazz pianists going great, he's a stylist that stuck out, has a really, really identifiable style, right? Especially in his left-hand comping, but also his right hand, the soloing and stuff. For me, when I listen to the album, the Johnny Hartman, John Coltrane album, I mean, I can tell it's McCoy, but it's not Impressions McCoy. You know what I mean? He's approaching it from a different standpoint. And I was just wondering if you could comment a little bit on that, about McCoy's approach to playing and maybe how he approached playing on this album, if you have any thoughts about that.
I guess in most instances when you talk about where pianists are concerned is the art of accompanying. Because in that role, he was accompanying. He was and particularly working with the vocalist. So that requires a different thought process or approach and mindset.
Right.
Which he adapted to very well.
Yeah.
So McCoy was a very skillful and perceptive pianist. A lot of people. I had someone say, well, it's just it's just always got to be that macho piano player. No, that wasn't the case. I mean, he did what was called for behind Train. In terms of just bringing those nuances and colors to to kind of weave into where Train's direction was. But
Yeah, I mean, on this record, he played really sensitively,
yes,
I think.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. So he was very capable of it. I had a couple occasions to hang out with McCoy, and it was, very just, like I say, you know, I mean, funny cat, too, but, you know, very, very perceptive and intuitive, you know, when it came to
Did you ever get a chance to take a lesson with him or anything like
Didn't
that?
get a chance to take a lesson
Yeah.
with him, but we got a chance to talk about, you know, some people. He actually, we talked about U.B. Blake. He and U.B. Blake had become very close friends. And he said one of the things that with U.B., he felt like U.B. just got tired of living. He, you know, all of his close friends and everything were gone. He was in his 90s, so he said he felt like U.B. just kind of said, oh, well, I guess it's time to go. So,
Yeah.
So, you know, but, yeah. He will, McCoy's just thing will always be there. I mean, you hear it,
Yep.
you know, it's hard to get away from it. Most piano players, somewhere in their vocabulary, there's some McCoy nuance.
Yeah.
You know, you know, it's that they'll draw from.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, his style was just like a magnet. It was just so identifiable. It's tough to ignore it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, that's a tough tune to follow for sure. That's one of my favorite ballads. But what do you guys got going next?
The hits just keep coming. As far as I'm concerned, the whole record
I know.
is just incredible and source material, as you were mentioning earlier. And, you know, when you say why, I mean, these songs are bomb.
There's not a single track on that I want to skip over.
Yeah.
Every single one is good.
And then highlights, you know, what he said, the accompaniment of the pianist to the vocals. The same thing with John Coltrane, paying homage to the cat up front, doing the vocals, man. It showed their versatility.
Yep.
So, my one and only love.
Wonderful tune. Thank you.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4.
The very thought of you makes my whole world sing like an April breeze on the wings of spring. And you appear in all your splendor, my one and only love. The shadows fall and spread their misty charms in the hush of night while you're in my arms. I feel your lips so warm and tender, my one and only love. The touch of your hand is like heaven, a heaven that I've never known. The blush on your cheeks whenever I speak tells me that you are my own. You fill my eager heart with such desire. Every kiss you bring sets my soul on fire. I give myself in sweet surrender. My one and only love. Charles McNeal. Glen Pearson. The touch of your hand is like heaven. A heaven that I've never known. The blush on your cheeks whenever I speak tells me that you are my own. You fill my eager heart with such desire. Every kiss you bring sets my soul on fire. I give myself in sweet surrender. My one and only love. My one and only love.
Nice work. You know, that tune has a real special place in my heart for me. That was my wedding, my first dance with my wife back in '98. And but the lyrics of that tune, man, is just, you know, who writes lyrics to tunes like that anymore? I don't know either. You know? Another
reason why this is so classic.
It's
all of this music
classic.
that we're doing right now. This
Yeah.
is The jazz masters.
Well, Jeff and Dave, I was hoping to talk to you guys just for a second. Similar questions that I've talked to about with Charles and Glenn. You know, is it the classic Coltrane quartet, right? With Coltrane, McCoy Tyner, Jimmy Garrison, and Elvin Jones. But the rhythm section, and especially bass and drums, playing very differently on this album than they did for, like, let's say, Love Supreme, you know, for example. Or the year right before this was in '62 is when they recorded Impressions, which also much different approach. And I'm just wondering, like, for, you know, is there any kind of specific thing that you do approaching these kind of tunes, like you know, for example, Dave, like a certain kind of cymbal choice or certain kind of approach to the drum set, or even on the bass, like playing these tunes with a baritone singer? You have a different approach to where you're walking or where you're keeping time? I'm curious what you guys might think about that.
Well, I mean, from a bass standpoint, I'm thinking more, you know, holding down the bottom, and the fact that there's a baritone singer. In some ways, I too have to be careful because we're kind of in the same register,
right?
You know, but I'm still being supportive in terms of adding harmony notes to complement where he's at. If he's in the lower register, I can play some upper notes that'll still kind of help stand out so that we're both not in the mud, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so.
Yeah, I was curious about that. I'm a baritone saxophonist myself, and I used to, back years ago, I used to play a lot with a guy named Lynn Seaton, a bass player.
Oh, Lynn, yeah.
And he had a similar kind of, you know, depending on where I might be soloing, he would kind of adjust where he was walking or whatever, right? So it's sort of like you say, staying out of the mud, so to speak.
Right.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It's complementing one another.
Exactly.
You know, but you have to be listening.
Yeah,
That's the key all times.
Yep.
The ears have to be open.
Yeah. Dave, what do you think, man, about, you know, from the drummer's perspective?
Well, you know, kind of want to echo what Glenn and Charles were saying, is those, if you listen to a Love Supreme and you listen to the Johnny Hartman, John Coltrane record, they sound very different. But they're actually performing the same function.
Yeah.
They're playing the appropriate accompaniment. And, you know, so they're really doing the same job. It's just a different context. And I think one of the things that connects it is you can hear, or at least for me, the way I interpret it is they're loving it. You know, and part of me would love to ask them. I wish they were around. I could ask them, you know, how much of that was spontaneous, and how much did you talk about it? You know, there's another great collaboration album that Coltrane did with Duke Ellington, and Elvin, they play In a Sentimental Mood, and traditionally a drummer plays brushes on a ballad, but Elvin plays sticks. And he's mixing it up, and he's breaking up the triplets like only Elvin can do, and then he double times it on the solos. And part of me would like to ask, you know, did he just come up with that himself, or did someone say, hey, go ahead, play sticks on this.
Yeah.
Do your thing. You know, I'd like to know what happened on those sessions.
Right.
As far as what was spontaneous and what was talked about.
I bet you that was spontaneous.
Those small little decisions, though,
Yeah.
they can make a huge difference, you know?
You're in a moment in time.
Yep.
You're in the moment, you know, and that's just what it called for at that particular time, and he had the tools to do it, and that's what it was.
Exactly.
You know? It wasn't a standard just played brushes on ballads. You know, it was a texture.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, that he's adding to it, and it didn't detract from the ballad. It added.
Yeah, it was.
You know,
it was a whole different thing.
Without getting in the way. You know. So.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I think, considering Jamie is off stage, I think you guys are doing the instrumental one right now, right? Yeah. Yeah, this is, well, I'll announce the tune since I heard you all warming up on it. This is from the album Blue Train. It's the John Coltrane composition, Moment's Notice, and these guys are going to tear it up. So take it away, guys.
that?
I was looking for a resolution.
Unbelievable.
Jazz.
I heard it, but
I thought that's
nobody
what it
moves. I said, okay.
What a privilege to be a part of this kind of organization. Extraordinary musicians, no doubt about that. I'm so happy to be a part of this. And I think we can do this one.
Yeah. You guys have one more or two more?
Well, we had a whole bunch, but
Okay. Well, real quick, before you guys do the very last tune, I have one more question for you, Jamie, is that I know that going back to what I was talking about, everything's sort of shutting down, everyone's stuck at home. You were a very well-traveled musician for the last number of years, right? I mean, what are some of the places you've been playing lately, singing?
It was so funny, the end of 2019, I went to some very interesting places that were some of the most unusual for me. I actually followed the Silk Road in the Kazakhstans and Baku, which is Azerbaijan.
Let's go with that, right?
Yeah, no, okay, you know, the enunciation, which now in war, you understand, but from what I want. But for me, and this was along with, of course, St. Petersburg, and this was when Sakhalin, which was on the border of Korea, and I'm talking about the funky Korea, you know, that you ain't supposed to go to, you know what I mean? But I will tell you this, jazz is so accepted in all of these way out places that you would think there would be no jazz fans. These people absolutely love jazz. So in Baku, we played at the Ritz-Carlton, Christmas time. And the people packed the place out. People were so excited about our music, jazz. And it was so funny, I get off the plane, I come home, and I get a phone call from my people that says, you know, we're going to New York. I said, what? And of course, we were doing the live recording.
With the Basie band.
With the Basie band, and Glenn and myself, and we did 6 nights up there. And when we left there, I can't tell your story, oh my God. But when we left there, a week later, the virus hit.
That's right. Right,
I was all up and down those streets, man. I was all down, you know, at the theater district. My hotel was right there, and we were just over there. And we get home, and everything was back.
Yep, I know.
But no, I've been a blessed guy. I'll just say this real quick. For me, the music is, whether you are quote famous or not, is irrelevant. It's bringing love to people, man. People that respect your music and respect what you're doing is my fulfillment. That's right. I don't care where it's at. You know, it's like, why are you going over there? I said, because they hired me. You know what I mean? Ain't no big deal.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? And a lot of times they be paying you stacks of $100 bills. So why would I not go? You understand? So let me start that. But anyway.
You get to do you.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm happy somebody likes our music.
Yeah.
well, Jamie, I couldn't agree more. And but before you guys play your last tune here, just in closing, real quick, for everybody tuning in and watching, we have a really pretty good audience actually tuned in right now. So please, again, musicinplace.org/support. Again, 100% tax deductible. Please consider making a donation. Help keeping stuff like this going. And you know, Jamie, for me, being able to get you all here tonight is real special to me. I've made music with you in a lot of different situations over the years. One of the weirdest was at Angola prison, but cool, weird but cool. Yeah. That was quite a trip. It was like an outreach program thing we did there, which was pretty. And Charles was there as well. Yeah. Epic steak night, baby doe. That was Baby Doe's in Baton Rouge. Baby Doe's, yeah. Anyway, man, well, we've had some good memories over the years, man, playing.
So let me reiterate, Music in Place. Please support this organization. Times are hard for musicians, especially jazz musicians, and in the Bay Area. I can speak from where we are. We need your support, and because it is a non-profit organization, You people that can afford to donate, you can write it off.
That's right.
And so look at it, love it, and write a big check.
Yeah.
You understand? So we can keep this kind of music going, not only for this occasion, but with how the United States is as it is now, we may need you for a long time.
Yeah. Well, guys, Dave Rokeach on the drums.
Dave, baby,
Jeff Chambers on the bass.
Daddy, baby.
Glen Pearson on the piano. Charles McNeal on the saxophone. And again, Jamie Davis. Gentlemen, take it away. Thank you again so much for joining
this
us.
beautiful falling. So I will talk about this music a little bit. You know, just because you're a baritone, don't mean this fits you, because these are challenging tunes, and they are iconic. And so you better be ready for the journey. Here's Falling in Love is Wonderful. They say that falling in love is wonderful. So wonderful. So they say. The thing that's known as romance is wonderful. So wonderful. So they tell me I can't recall who said it. I know I never read it. I only know they tell me that love is grand. If there's a moon up above, it's wonderful, so wonderful in every way. So they say. You leave your house one morning
and without any warning, you find yourself shouting that love is grand. To hold your girl in your arms is wonderful, so wonderful in every way. So they say.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jamie Davis and quartet, thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much. Bravo, gentlemen.
I'm ready to go now.